Welcome to the Ultimate 100 Logos Quiz Challenge. Can you guess all 100 logos? Let's find out. Before starting, subscribe channel for more quizzes and brain challenges. Let's go. Guess the logo. TikTok. Guess the logo. Pinterest. Guess the logo. Discord. Guess the logo. Instagram. Guess the logo. WhatsApp. Guess the logo. Twitter. Guess the logo. Facebook. Guess the logo. Twitch. Guess the logo. YouTube. Guess the logo. Telegram. Guess the logo. Thread. Guess the logo. LinkedIn. Guess the logo. Snapchat. Guess the logo. Reddit. Guess the logo. PayPal. Guess the logo. Zoom. Guess the logo. Pringles. Guess the logo. MrBeast. Guess the logo. LG. Guess the logo. Pizza Hut. Guess the logo. Pepsi. Guess the logo. FaceTime. Guess the logo. Firefox. Guess the logo. Lamborghini. Guess the logo. Microsoft Edge. Guess the logo. Visual Studio. Guess the logo. Amazon. Guess the logo. Android. Guess the logo. Spotify. Guess the logo. Minecraft. Guess the logo. Microsoft. Guess the logo. Ferrari. Guess the logo. Sprite. Guess the logo. Nestle. Guess the logo. Google Play. Guess the logo. Google Map. Guess the logo. Xbox. Guess the logo. Mercedes. Guess the logo. Nike. Guess the logo. Google Drive. Guess the logo. Meta. Guess the logo. Outlook. Guess the logo. Premier League. Guess the logo. Google Authenticator. Guess the logo. Delta. Guess the logo. Qatar Airways. Guess the logo. Chrome. Guess the logo. Perplexity. Guess the logo. Starlink. Guess the logo. Linux. Guess the logo. Microsoft Word. Guess the logo. Huawei. Guess the logo. Microsoft Excel. Guess the logo. Xiaomi. Guess the logo. Unity. Guess the logo. Chuck E. Cheese. Guess the logo. National Geographic. Guess the logo. Nvidia. Guess the logo. Adblock. Guess the logo. Calendar. Guess the logo. Messenger. Guess the logo. Internet Explorer. Guess the logo. Wikipedia. Guess the logo. Caltax. Guess the logo. Shell. Guess the logo. Red Bull. Guess the logo. Walls. Guess the logo. Jollibee. Guess the logo. Defender. Guess the logo. Google Play Services. Guess the logo. Laravel. Guess the logo. React. Guess the logo. Shazam. Guess the logo. GitLab. Guess the logo. Swift. Guess the logo. Adobe. Guess the logo. Bing. Guess the logo. Google Assistant. Guess the logo. LinkedIn. Guess the logo. Ripple. Guess the logo. Docker. Guess the logo. Airtel. Guess the logo. VLC. Guess the logo. Skype. Guess the logo. PowerPoint. Guess the logo. Shopify. Guess the logo. Microsoft Excel. Guess the logo. Microsoft Word. Guess the logo. Zoom. Guess the logo. Internet. Guess the logo. Bitcoin. Guess the logo. United Nations. Guess the logo. MasterCard. Guess the logo. Netflix. Guess the logo. Mercedes. Guess the logo. Hooters. Guess the logo. Audi. Guess the logo. ChatGPT. Guess the logo. Puma.